What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I'm out here in my driveway today. I just had a discussion with a buddy of mine, and I wanted to kind of reach out to everybody out there. Excuse the wind if you hear a lot of wind, but I wanted to reach out to you guys and get your opinion on something. All right, so our discussion was bought versus built. Okay, and what I mean by bought versus built is you're buying something or a Harley that's already complete. I mean, it's maybe one of the showstopper type Harleys where you go to one of these big companies and buy a Harley that's already done. Might not have any miles on it, might have a few miles on it, but it's pretty much already complete. You just didn't have any say so on what was put into the bike, but it's a pretty much already built, ready to go bike. There's pros and cons to both sides, that pretty much what we came up with, but there's an age-old saying, you know what I mean? It's nothing like something that you put your own hard work and effort into to build yourself. I think this goes from state to state. That saying could differ. Also, there's a lot of circumstances and different things that go into that. Guys, I've done both. I've bought something before that's already built, and I just put my own little flavor on the end, and then I've built things from the ground up. And are there hard times between that, when you're building yourself? Yes. Could you get something that's built already and it not be end up being what you really want at the end of the day? Yes. All right, so to start, I'm going to show you guys something that I haven't shown you before, and it'll kind of maybe make sense to you once you see what I'm dealing with and how I'm going about what I'm going about. But real quick, I'll say this. If you're the type of guy who wants to save money and time, there's nothing wrong with buying something built already. But it has to be from somebody who's respectable, from a company that's reputable and you could go back to if you have any issues. Take, for instance, if something happens to this motorcycle, a fuse blows or just something stops working on a bike, you have to be able to go back to that actual place to have it fixed. That's just my opinion, because if you go anywhere else, they're going to ask you questions that you're not going to have an answer for. Okay? If you had air ride suspension, the air ride goes out, they're going to ask you, what type of air ride do you have? You're going to say, I don't know. They got to tear the whole bike apart. That's going to cost you more money. Flip side to that, usually when these companies sell you a bike that's already done, it's almost about half the price that you're paying to build it yourself. Okay? You get one of these nice, expensive Harleys, that a lot of guys on YouTube are doing videos on. They already build them and then they sell them. Half the time the bike alone is the majority of the price. You're just paying for some labor. The parts part, they got a discount on, so they're kind of giving you that gray area deal right there. So you're buying a bike for $40,000, but it's got over $60,000 worth of time and labor and parts in it. During the pandemic, I would say yes. If you don't want any downtime, I say yes. But if you want something custom to you, I say no. You always run the risk of getting a lemon. Let's say you bought a bike with 20,000 miles on it and this guy did all these things to it. You don't know how he took care of that engine. If you bought brand new and pieced it together yourself, do the bare basics, just in your slotted time frame, then you know what you have, you know what you got. So let me turn the camera around and I'm gonna show you guys something real quick. Okay, now I've had these bikes for a while. You see that one? No engine in it, but it's coming together. The Harley, and then we got a Rocket. Okay, let me explain. This one was bought to be a project. I don't ride these bikes on the street. These are pretty much track bikes. So you know, I'm building an engine for it. I bought it already like it is. The guy gave me, I wouldn't even say a deal, but I bought it. I tore the motor down, and we're gonna, you know, we're gonna build something with that. Okay. The Harley. I chose to go brand new with the Harley. For one, I didn't know how to work on Harleys. I was kind of clueless. I wanted something brand new that I could put my own flavor and touch on. I wanted something that I knew I wouldn't have any issues with. And anything that I accessorize on it doesn't give me much downtime. The exhaust, a few hours. The handlebars, a few hours. The music was the only thing that was a few days. Headlight, I do myself. You know, little things like that. And for how I'm going to build it and what my purpose is going to be with this bike, I'm really not going to have a lot of downtime. Okay, coming over to this one. This is a 2020 GSXR 1000. Now, I bought this bike a couple of months ago, and it was pretty much the way you see it now. The reason I did that is because the bike has no miles on it. It has a good history behind it. I know who built it. Well, not really built it, but I know who put it together. I know where it comes from. And pretty much if I was to start from scratch, I would have paid twice what I paid for the bike itself. I know how to work on them. If I ever have an issue, I can do all that work myself. But like I said, this is something that's already pretty much built. Now, go back to the Harley. Guys, if you buy a Harley, and let's say it's a 2015, so we'll call it 6 years old. My opinion, it would have the basic necessities on it. Bars, exhaust, and maybe, you know, headlight, just a little accessories. Even music. We can even go in music, because that's something that you can pretty much say, okay, it's working or it's not working, or, you know, you won't ride down the street and then everything shut down and the music stopped working. You know, you can pretty much take that to anybody and get that looked at. An older Harley, you don't want a lot of accessories on because you don't know where it came from. Just imagine you buy a Harley and has a big wheel on it, right? It had to have a rake kit. You don't know the rake kit. You don't know who actually built this bike. You don't know how good a job this company did. You don't know their reputation. You really don't know much of anything with these guys. Okay, so you're taking a chance with a bike so expensive. This is a, you know, $4,500 bike. I could kind of take a chance. These bikes, $20,000 plus. It's kind of hard to take a chance when this is something you want to get right on the road immediately. This, would I take a chance? Yes or no? Buying something used like this, and, you know, depending on the amount of money you are planning on putting into it or whatever you're planning on doing with it, do the basic necessities to check it out. Look at the oil. Look at the fork seals. Look at the mileage compared to how long this bike's been built. Also, you look at, put it on a dyno. Make sure the horsepower numbers are right. All those things before money changes hands with a bike like this. This is something that, you know, you can run the risk of buying something and it be smoking, and, you know, guy try to give you an excuse why it's smoking, and then you're just out of a bunch of money. So do all those things with something like that. Like I said, a Harley is one of those things that you can take a chance. You know, if that guy's kept a lot of records and stuff like that, then you're good to go. But all at the same time, if you've had an experience, good or bad, let me know. If there's anything that, you know, we can, you know, kind of like let somebody who's just starting out or just about to buy a bike and he's looking at both sides of this thing, help us out. Drop some comments down in the comment section and let us know, which way do you think is the better way to go? I feel it's all just a matter of opinion, but I could be right, I could be wrong. All right, man. Thank you for watching, guys. Thank you for subscribing. Peace.